Welcome back. Let's now talk governance and politics. We're being joined on the program by Senator representing Anambra Central, Senator Victor Umeh. He joins us from Abuja studio. Distinguished, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So there's a lot to unpack within the time we have, and I'm spoiled for choice. But maybe we'll begin with one of the most controversial in the past few days that has to do with that face-off between the senator representing coming from Kogi State, Senator Natasha Akpoti, and the Senate President that has escalated. I don't know how many senators, past and present, lawmakers that have now granted interview because of some of the revelations she's made and allegations she's made. It has taken even some form of, you can call it colorations, whether it's ethnic or regional. But I wanted your generic view on what is playing out between the both, the senator and the Senate President. What's your view as far as the allegations are concerned, and the responses that the Senate, even the leadership of the Senate, is giving to some of those things raised?
Well, this is actually not something I would have loved to start with in this interview, but putting it across first, I will not shy away from it. For the fact that I'm a senator, and the issues developing are things that will impinge on the integrity of the Senate as an institution. We will not stay by and allow the Senate as an institution be brought to disrepute and ridicule, because the allegations that came on the media through the interview you are referring to, the allegations are allegations that one would not expect to come from somebody who is a senator. The Senate is not a small institution. It's a very big institution, the highest parliament in this country. It's not a House of Assembly, and it's not perhaps the House of Representatives. It's the Senate. And the people who are in the Senate are expected to conduct themselves with the highest decorum possible. So you would imagine how scandalized any senator would be to watch on television, see a senator make those allegations against the presiding officer, the Senate President. It's not something anybody can wish away and sweep under the carpet. One is that for you to be able to sustain such an allegation in a brazen manner on television, what you are saying must be impeccable. It must be justifiable. And even if it is justifiable, there are rules and procedures of addressing anything. Running to the television and begin to throw such allegations, myself, I take a great exception to that. I've listened to the interview about 3 times to be able to see if I can make anything out of it. And just like previous senators have spoken on the matter, including former female senators and a serving senator that's a female, I've listened to Senator Kingibe, who is the Chairman Senate Committee on Women Affairs. I saw her on Rice Television making her own points. I've also seen Senator Biodo Olujimi, former minority leader of the Senate, herself a woman. I also saw her position. Yesterday, I also saw Senator Florence Etagewa, a female senator of this republic, sometime in the past, and she also came out with her own position. Looking at this, I just referred to 3 women who, 2 have been senators here, and 1 is still serving. You will see that one will not be accused of trying to jump in to take side with the Senate President because he's a man. I think the whole thing is very nauseating, because something that started with a very simple, as it appeared, misunderstanding over allocation of seats has snowballed into a wildfire, which was unnecessary. When the first issue came up, that was the issue of seating arrangement. I wasn't in the chamber. I was in Lagos on assignment on behalf of the Senate, and I saw all those things on television, and I wondered how that could be an issue. The Senate is guided by rules, we have our standing rules, and everybody has standing rules of the book rules of the Senate. If you go there, those rules were copiously read out on the day this issue happened first time. And it was obvious that the Senate President has the full powers by section, Order 6, Rule 1. The Senate President allocates seats to everybody in the Senate. And Rule 6.2 says that the Senate President may change the seats at any time. So it's an unquestionable authority of the Senate President to allocate seats to anybody. And if he allocates seat for any reason to someone and the person refuses to accept that seat, it means the person doesn't want to participate in the proceedings of the Senate. So when that thing happened, I felt it was an action taken by our colleague trying to make fuse out of it, because she cannot pick and choose where to sit. And what led to the situation in the chamber was that she refused to accept the seat assigned to her. That is the rule of the Senate. If you want to be a senator, you have to be guided by the rules, and you must observe it. If there's anything you don't like, there are ways of addressing them. And when I went through all that, I had to write her I wrote her a message and told her to quietly find a way to go and apologize to the Senate President for that altercation in the chamber. I was doing it very patriotically. I didn't know that more things would still come out in the media. So the thing is that the Senate is not a place where you expect people there to behave like young people. We are no longer young people. We are senior citizens in this country. That is why in that chamber you have former governors, retired permanent secretaries, former deputy governors, and people who have been in the Senate, sometimes some of them 4 or 5 tenures. So it's not a place you want us to be discussing trivial things. We had to focus on
Senator
issues
Umeh?
of national importance, things that will help us drive the nation, on a stride of development and progress.
All right, Senator Umeh.
So I'm not happy. I'm not happy with what has happened, and it was uncalled for.
Indeed, it's a whole gamut of issues. The rules of the Senate, issues of national importance,